One of the reasons why we came to Japan again was to come to Sapporo to see their yearly snow festival. We didn't know what to expect when we arrived here, as I didn't do a lot of research on the event, but it was cool to walk and see the trees lit up as if it were Christmas. As we continued to walk, we hit one of the entrances to Odori Park, and of course, in usual Japanese fashion, everyone lines up in an orderly way. It was nice to see there were plenty of food to eat as you were strolling through the area. There was definitely a wide variety of food, such as whole smoked pork and some different types of skewers. We decided to go with the Kurabata pork skewer. Next up, we saw a steamed bun joint that looked really good, so we decided to get one that was stuffed with beef and cheese, of all things. It actually was really good and really fresh. After finishing that up, we walked by another stand that served one of my favorite things to eat, which is mushrooms. They served them two different ways, one with soy sauce and another one with a ton of cheese. Looking back now, I feel like I probably should have just gotten the one with cheese because it looks really, really good. There were quite a few food stands, so we finished our little street food tour and made our way over to one of the larger exhibits. A tribute to Final Fantasy, a very popular role-playing video game celebrating 30 years of development. The whole thing is huge and very impressive seeing it in person. It seemed to easily be at least a quarter, if not a third, in length to a city block, and at least 150 feet high. A large crowd gathered there, and I wasn't sure what was going on since it didn't seem like they were taking photos. Just after a few moments later, a light projection show started and illuminated the entire piece. This is something I've never seen before in terms of complexity. After that show was finished, we continued to walk down Odori Park, which is quite long actually, about 12 city blocks. And there were actually more snow sculptures for us to see with more light projections. And although it was very cold, it was an amazing experience and definitely a lot of fun to see the skill that was put into creating these arts. In addition to the amazing snow sculptures on display, there was also other things for people to see, such as a downhill slope where skiers did tricks. There was also J-pop performances and something very peculiar, what appeared to be a snow sculpture of Sailor Moon with a row of people waving glow sticks at it. Towards the end of the park, we started to see these smaller snow sculptures on display and caught a glimpse of some of the teams who worked on making them. I'm not sure if there was a theme to this portion of the park, but quite a few of the sculptures is the minion from the movie Despicable Me. It seemed like a quarter of the exhibits had something to do with the minions, so we were able to quickly check out most of the area. The Sapporo Snow Festival actually has three sites. One at Odori Park, which we were just at, another which is more family and kids orientated, and the last one in Susukino. We only had time to visit one other site and decided on Susukino, which is about a 15-minute walk from Odori Park. Along the way, we passed by the former Hokkaido Government Building, which also had a light projection show set up, which was also very, very cool. We were actually very lucky to see the light projection show, as it was the last one for the evening. After a short walk, we arrived at Susukino, which is the entertainment district in Sapporo. It's full of retail stores, shopping centers, restaurants, bars, arcade parlors, and the red light establishments. Ramen Yokocho, the original ramen alley, is also located here, but we skipped it due to the long lines migrating from the snow festival. Unlike the sculptures at Odori Park, all the pieces are carved from blocks of ice instead of using snow. This year, the event started on Monday, February 5th. Each team starts working on their ice sculpture from 2:30 p.m. on Monday and finishes by 10:30 a.m. the following morning. The entire show lasts for just a week before there is a closing ceremony where the best ice sculpture is announced.
Odori.